Our imagination is wasted on potential disaster. As I've shared before, and as you are probably experiencing in your own life, this thing doesn't really turn off, right? You think quite a lot, unconsciously, subconsciously, as well as consciously. You know, as soon as you get up, I need a coffee, I need to go to the toilet, what have I got today, do I have any meetings? It just starts going, and a train of thought goes, and if you don't have a practice, or you don't have a means, or a hobby, or an outlet that can take you out of that temporarily and create a gap, and break it up a little bit, you could spend your whole 24 hours in that state, or at least the 16 you're awake, and then 8 hours similarly. And with this capacity of thinking that we have as human beings, the gift that we have, it's not disconnected from our imagination and our feelings, our emotions. It's the energy in motion, the emotions, right? And the captain between the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious, the captain is the conscious. So that's where you can take ownership, take your power back, and know that I create my reality with my thoughts, and I actually have the ability to control my thoughts. I have mind control of my own. That's the human gift. Everyone has that. Some are further away from that than others. So, you might have friends or relatives where you're like, wow, you're really in a world of your own, you're lost. I'm sure you have that. That might be you. Never really turns off, so it's important to the main thing is to learn how to punctuate the trains of thoughts into just getting into states of no thought. When you might be, everyone has different places and spaces that they go into no thought. Some when they watch a movie, some when they're skiing, some when they're playing with their kids, some when they're walking through nature, some when they're swimming, some when they're reading a good book or doing keepy-ups in the park. Whatever your thing is, or you can have a prescribed ritual or practice like yoga and meditation, those kind of things, right? So unless you can kind of punctuate it, or it's important to punctuate it, and then when you're getting enough space, when you're getting enough breaks in the train, like the trains of thought, it's not just it's like one word non-stop. There's spaces there, and there's full stops, and there's gaps, right? Little by little, those spaces get bigger. Take your time, but they get bigger when we intentionally catch ourselves and break ourselves out of thoughts. By doing that, you can start to see, you create this space, and you start to perch yourself on a ledge and be able to, it doesn't stop, but it continues to go. Oh, okay, that's weird. I'm here. I'm seeing all that go past, and then when I want to bring it there, I can go back into playing football or being at the park, and I can go back into no thought. But it's going past, and you can start to see, okay, wow, pattern recognition kicks in. Look how many times I'm thinking about what I don't have, or thinking about what I need or lack, or thinking about why does that person not like me, or why does that person act rude to me, or why does that, you start to see, okay, there's some patterns here. And if you can remember that it's like the code, that thing, you watch it from here, but that's your code, that's the matrix, that's the code, that's the matrix that you're like, those are the algorithms that create the outside, that create the outside world, your your 3D conditions. That's where it starts, not the other way around. I say that in a lot of my videos. Learn to work from inside out rather than outside in. And you start to see it, and just by seeing it, you can stop energizing it so much. And then you get to a point where you can rewrite some of the code, and you start to rewrite the code. And that's when we can create the kind of realities we do want. And what does the code look like? We want it to be a high vibration, joy, love, abundance, freedom, gratitude. Down there is fear, anger, frustration, shame, lust, pain. But you'll see how that's how you can read it. That's the language. Those are the thoughts. It's usually coupled with the energy goes into motion, and you start to you feel the rage, and the story of why you feel the rage and who's wronged you is showing up on the screen. Right? We can begin to recode that, make it high vibration, learning to recognize when we feel in our body these feelings, what the story is that accompanies it, and just in that process, actually there's nothing you need to do, just that process is withdrawing of energy from it and disidentifying from it and no longer energizing it, and it just basically floats away and it's not actually real. Right. But so the title of the video is Our Imagination. Our imagination is wasted on potential disaster. Okay, so they all kind of work together. The thinking, the thoughts, the language, the story, the screenplay, the emotions, the energy in motion, feeling of rage, feeling of shame in your pelvic area, feeling of tension in your shoulders, feeling of disgust and annoyance, and having a temper, and then your imagination. This starts to use the memories of the past, what things look like, and create new stories of the future based on this coding. So your imagination, you're using your imaginative energy, your super important tool, your superpower. Your superpower is your imaginative energy. That whole system, the feeling, the thoughts, the imagination. That's what creates your reality. That's what brings to pass everything that happens around you and the way that people interact and respond to you. Things that come into your life, things that leave your life. It's a mirror, it gives you more of that. So your imagination is, my dad said that the other day at dinner. I'm so angry at him, like just carrying that. You're gonna find the next time you see your dad, you're gonna have another situation that meets everything that you just coded into existence. You see what I mean? That it starts here, and you're getting in a whole thing, but you're just creating more of it. It keeps annoying you, and increasingly he will annoy you even more, because the purpose of the mirror is to keep giving you it so you can transcend it and then climb the ladder to joy and then keep giving you that. So we use, as humans, all of us, myself included, those people over there included, those people over there included. Take some serious inner work, some real honesty, some real transcendence and transformation to have transcended this completely in all areas of your life. So you might be pretty good with your relationship to money or your career or your vocation or your purpose, but you might have this stuff come up with your family, or vice versa. You might have a real tight-knit family, everything's good, everyone's in joy, everyone's aware, but you have a leakiness around your financials and you overspend, or you have a scarcity mindset or something like that. It's not. There's areas where we've got to work on, right? So every human has all this imaginative energy, like creation ability. We try so hard to we try so hard to dig it out and look for it, but it's already there. We already have it. We're just using it for potential disaster. Like, can't afford anything. I'm right in my overdraft, blah blah blah. That's a real. I'm not saying it's not a real situation and an obstacle, whatever. I'm not saying it's not like happening. I'm not saying it's not happening at all, and it's uncomfortable. But the irony, the counterintuitive thing is, you're creating more lack of resource in your life by focusing on lack of resource. So you're like, I'm gonna get kicked out of my rent, blah 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 blah. You're using your imagination, focused on impending doom, and actually what you're actually doing is powering that and creating that and bringing that to pass. It's tricky. It's not simple. It's not necessarily easy to transcend all of this. But so we march on, so we continue, and we're here. So if we can not make it so daunting and scary and actually make it fun, let's do it. Let's show me more. Right? That's a good attitude of like, show me more areas where I'm wasting. Let me see it. Build the capacity to see and be aware of, and build that space by doing things you love, doing things you enjoy, having some discipline to continue to show up for that. Make sure it doesn't hurt or harm people. Just by being joy, love and abundance, it's not going to. Make sure it's there, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. But as we create space, create wisdom, experience, raise our XP, we can start to see all the areas where our imagination is focused on the wrong things, or just being wasted on potential disaster, literally, or just potential outcomes that you don't want to experience. There could be something at work. We're all working on this big client, working to close this big client, and you get all like, means so much to me, and get all like this, and then you start to think, what happens if he doesn't do it? What happens if? And you're just using all of this energy, and you're just focused on it, all the things that could go wrong, and that's waste, and that's just doesn't achieve anything. It just makes you tired, it makes you grumpy, and it makes you it takes you further away from what your heart's desire. So yeah, just stop it, man. Like, it's so easy, right? But we can, once we kind of de-emphasize it a little bit and not make it such a arduous task as well, and make it real simple, what's my script, where's my imagination going. Take a check of where your imagination is going throughout your day, and you're going to have blocks in your day where you're going to be basically unconscious. Can't even remember what you were thinking about. It was just happening. You could have a busy period of work. You could be in the chaos of dealing with children. You could be, and you'd be like, oh, where did the time go? I don't even remember what I was thinking about. Blah blah blah. You're gonna have that. But if we can slowly but surely find more and more and more space, so we can start to see that code, that space will grow. So just stick with it, basically. You don't have to be Zen master tomorrow. You can be today. Nothing stopping you. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out process either. But everyone runs their own race, so no hurry. Just have the intention to be there, and you will. Cool. That was fun.